Right, we're getting it now.
Is it working?
Yeah, I'm going to go live now. Go mute. Hello everybody, welcome to Virginia International Raceway and the Chazlington Touring Car Championship for rounds 7 and 8. I do apologise for the utter mess that we've had trying to get this going. We've had issue upon issue with YouTube chats and so on, and you know how streaming is. Qualifying is literally just ended, so I'm going to very, very quickly jump us over to the current action that we have on track at the moment. We see Ben Gregory spinning into the pit lane. And I'm going to give you a bit of info about the race that we've got tonight. And you also see, in the commentary booth with me tonight, is Mr. Jack Styles. Jack, how are we doing?
I'm not too bad, not too bad. Good evening. Good to be here. Virginia is a circuit which is always quite interesting. Lots of elevation changes, especially with the layout we're using today. So, two very exciting races today.
Yeah, it should be good fun. Just going to quickly look over the grid now, which is, well, as you can see, it's a packed grid tonight. We've only got 5 sodding cars. So Jake Blackall takes pole position for CQR Club alongside Ben Gregory, with Ben Palmer in 3rd. I'm going to make this drag out. 4th place, we've got Adam McNally in the number 4, 7, 8 car. And who's going to be 5th, Jack?
Well, I think that's going to be Ashley Blake Hood in the 82. I believe the only Volkswagen on the grid. Everyone else running the old Ford Focus WRC today.
Fiesta, they're away. Here we go then, first race of the night. This is going to be mental. Jake Blackall leads and Ben Palmer right behind Ben Gregory. And I tell you what, you think this is a difficult... Oh, Blackall's around in front of everyone.
I believe that might have been Gregory.
And I tell you what, Adam McNally, he spun it in front of everyone as well. Ashley Good takes the lead. What the fuck is going on? Jake Blackall's in 2nd place. Finally goes down the hill. Ben Palmer comes across Adam McNally. Hope he wipes it off afterwards. This is just mayhem already, Jack. I don't know what happened there. We'll have a look back.
I think that might have been Ashley Blake Hood going last to first in a matter of about 3 corners. Something that's not very often seen in sim racing. However, with 5 cars, it's very easy. So Ashley Blake Hood managing to survive all of the incidents. The original incident at the start, I believe that was Ben Gregory getting into the back of Jake Blackall, just deciding that the punt to pass was the best way to go through that turn. Not really the best way usually, and he's dropped right to the back of the grid.
Yeah, absolute nightmare for him. I was just having a look back now from Ashley Blake Hood's point of view. The best seat in the house to see it all. Gregory and Palmer are side by side. Blackall gets on the brakes then. Gregory into the back of him. Then Blackall gets caught up with Palmer. Gregory goes off to the right because I think he just waits to give the position back. Blake Hood following McNally, who's overly sideways, and yeah, into the lead he goes. Wonderful stuff.
Oh, he's just got a bit sideways coming through the back section of the track. He's gone off. Jake Blackall's going to sneak himself up the inside as they head themselves down towards turn 8A. Don't ask me why they've named it that. It's America. And Jake Blackall leading into the downhill section, heading up towards the start-finish line.
Yeah, the very long start-finish straight you get here at Virginia Patriot layout. Ben Palmer's still in 3rd now. We'll go on board with Ben for a lap, just so you can see the mayhem that is this circuit. You've got this horrible, what looks like a right-left section, but it's just a left-hander. Then you're going left really far over to the right, then left again. Little kink on exit, then you've got your foot down all the way down this back straight. And trust me, this is the worst bit you'll ever see in your life. Look at it. On the brakes, Blake Hood sideways in front of him. They both run wide. A little bit on the grass there for Palmer. It's a very, very scary bit of that track, though, isn't it, Jack? It's just chaos through there.
I mean, yeah, you're coming down into that section at almost 120, 130 miles an hour into these cars, and you've got to get it stopped. I mean, they will roll quite happily, go through that section on 2 wheels, but they're not the easiest cars to get turned in on tarmac. They are, of course, also designed to run on the dirt sections. So some of the drivers using a little bit of the extremities of the circuit. Ben Palmer was looking down to the inside of Blake Hood as they headed out to the first turn. This is where the accident happened on turn number 1. Side by side they go, and I think Ben might have got it done. If he can get the power down, he can't. So Ashley Blake Hood still holds on to 2nd position, but Palmer, as they head themselves down the hill, still looking.
Yeah, he's done a great job there to fend him off as Blake Hood, as they both get on the brakes late together.
Wow.
Blake Hood is very late. He's on the handbrake, and he's going to get a slowdown penalty for that, surely. Ben Gregory's going to try and come through here as well. Blake Hood puts a wheel on the grass on the outside. McNally's not too far behind, actually. In 5th, he runs a bit too sideways on exit, though. Not following in the footsteps of the other Excite Energy Rallycross car, of course, of Oliver Bennett. But it's Jake Blackhall leading the way at the moment, buddy. And, well, actually, I think the race is probably, no offence to the guys at the back, it's probably panned out how it normally would have done without the incident now. We've got pit stops to think about as well, actually, haven't they? Not sure whether I've had an issue at this end. It seems that we have lost Mr. Styles.
No, you haven't. I just wasn't pushing the button.
Oh, there we go. Wonderful stuff.
Yeah, that will probably explain why. Of course, obviously, pit stop's adding another feature into this, 15 minutes, so everyone deciding that that pit stop needs to be done at a reasonable time. But for the driver of Jake Blackhall, 7 seconds to the good in the lead, he's pretty comfortable.
And oh, McNally was so close to the back of Blake Hood then. He was really closing. Ben Gregory, fastest lap of the race, 43.4. This boy is on a charge right now. We'll go on board then as he chases down Ben Palmer. Gregory, of course, in with a chance here of leading the championship after this round. He just needs to make sure that Blackhall doesn't gain too many points on him. Jake is third in the standings at the moment. 16 points behind Ben as far as I know. Ben is only 6 points ahead of, behind Dan McAuley, who's the current championship leader and not here. We'll actually quickly overlay these championship standings so you can have a look. There you go. McAuley 6 points ahead of Ben Gregory. Blackhall, then it's John Robertson, not here tonight. Sakovic, Burke, Thompson, Roberts, Butler, all not here tonight. Ben Palmer 10th, and it's Pete Newman, Tom Jacobs. Ashley Blake Hood is here, of course. And it's Billy Rose, Taylor Lane, Adam Delmont, Anthony Jacobson, and Kip Stevens. And, yeah, there's, well, only obviously 5 of them here. So McNally isn't even in the top 20 in the standings, I don't think, out of the 22 drivers that have taken part in this championship so far. I'm very grateful to all of them, of course. But, yeah, not the best of turnouts tonight, Jack, which is a bit of a shame, really, because I think trying to get even twice the size of this field, get 10 cars around here would be absolutely hilarious.
I mean, even with 5 cars, this is absolutely mental. With 10 cars, I feel like the carnage that we saw on lap 1 would be the carnage we're seeing every single lap. Yeah. You can see with the track map that you've just seen on your screens, ladies and gents, that it is a very tight and compact circuit. The laps are under 45 seconds. It's only 1.77 kilometers, so just over a mile. It's definitely not the Nürburgring. It's sort of like Brands Hatch, but with a few more turns and a lot more complicated and a few more hills to navigate.
Yeah, and they're not friendly little hills either. They're not little bumps as, oh, Gregory takes a lot of grass there. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a slowdown penalty for that. But it's good to see that there's still battles going on. When we had only 10 cars at Lime Rock Park, there was a lot of distance between all the cars. As now Gregory's really piling the pressure on Palmer. Palmer put 2 wheels on the grass there. So he's got to try and stick with him. 6 minutes gone of this 15-minute race. And Ben is really chasing, well, Ben at the moment. But they're really, really handling the cars well around here, actually, Jack. Just looking at Adam McNally now into the last section. You can see he's struggling a bit as he runs wide. He just clips the curb and it unsettles the car in these twisty sort of left-right-left sections. He's got a slowdown penalty as well by the look of it.
Yeah, it's almost as if McNally's got that car set up so it's a little bit squiggly on the rear end. Nothing really settling down within that Fiesta. I will get it right. Maybe having a few issues with the setup in this race, but I think looking back to this battle for second position, World War Ben is still going on, and Ben Palmer's still ahead of Ben Gregory. I think Ben Gregory will be anxious to get past, mostly because it means more points for the championship. The more points that he can, or the less points he can lose to Jake Blackhall, even though they are starting to both reel him in, the lead now back down to 5 seconds. So the two Bens slowly reeling in Jake Blackhall. But of course, we've got to set a World War Ben before we know who's going to lead this race when it comes to the final lap.
And invade the Australians, of course. Oh, Gregory a bit squirrely on the brakes there. I do have to reiterate, Jack, unfortunately, it is a fixed setup championship, this one. They do all have the iRacing baseline setups on. However, the Subaru we found in testing was doing 147 miles an hour while the others were doing 136. So the Fiesta and the Beetle just have longer gearing, but they don't have to worry about doing 147 mile an hour here because there's not anywhere long enough to do it. Maybe this bit, but maybe not.
I mean, they're getting up to, I'm seeing 180 kilometers an hour, so they can't be far off that top speed. But the Subaru, very, very quick in a straight line, as you said. Surprised that more drivers haven't gone for it. I have a feeling, though, that the Fiesta and the Beetle, much more nimble cars being hatchbacks as compared to that Impreza, which is a much longer car, almost a saloon car. Very rare to see that in rallycross racing these days. It's much more about these little hot hatches that have got far too much power for their own good.
Yeah, these little Fiestas are fantastic. They change directions so quickly. We're just going on board with Gregory now into this dip down the hill, left, right, and then getting back on the brakes to slow it down for the left-hander. they handle so differently to any other road car as well, these rallycross cars. That's why it's been interesting to see these guys adapt to it, because they just understeer one moment and then oversteer the next. Palmer's gone straight on. He's going to get a slowdown there, surely. You can see him going slowly. Gregory's going to close up to the back. He's serving that very, very cleverly, though, because he's still managing to defend. Is Gregory going to have a look? He does. There's contact. Palmer's sideways. Gregory stops the car. Gets back on the circuit. Very nice sportsmanship from Ben there to allow him to keep the position. I'm just trying to have a look. Adam McAuley is out of the race here, it looks like. Let's have a quick look.
5 has become 4. I started to see him in the pit lane a fraction of a second ago, and all of a sudden he disappeared. So I think Adam McAuley deciding that his car isn't quite how he wanted it to be this evening and calling it a day.
Oh, I'm not sure what's... Oh, he spins the rear end and, yeah, he just jumps away and then he's in the pit lane, unfortunately. We look back at the race leader then, Jake Blackhall, in that wonderful, wonderful Ford Falcon tribute livery on the Fiesta. Great bit of kit to see. He's done a nice job of adapting that. Do check out Jake Blackhall's liveries. He's does a lot of work as Knight Rider Designs. Does a lot of liveries for the CQR Club team and their sort of sub-teams that take part in the World GT Championship. We go back though.
All 16 of...
Yeah, there are a lot of teams that CQR run. I'm just having this World War Ben, as Jack has dubbed it, still raging away here. Gregory is not letting Palmer put a foot wrong here. And even when he does, he's just... It's so close. I've not really got words for this, Jack. This is great pressurising by Gregory. Oh! Palmer into the pits
Palmer into the pits. So Palmer deciding with 5 minutes to go in the race that it's time for him to get into pit lane. This could be important for Gregory, because if he can get a good in-lap, if he's pitting this time around, if he can get a good in-lap, he could try and jump Ben Palmer in the pits. We saw they were close. He's also going to have to take a shorter stop, I feel. So for Ben Gregory, this is really the gain it or lose it lap for him now to try and get a little bit of an overcut in the pit lane. Whether it's going to be possible or not, we'll have to wait and see.
So Palmer out of the pits now then. Rattling down that back straight. We'll keep an eye on Gregory into this final section. And also have a look at Jake Blackhall's gone through, so he's not in the pits this time round. Here's Gregory giving it maximum attack in that final sector. Brilliant stuff. Bit sideways, and yep, in he comes then. So what we'll do, we'll go on board with Ben Palmer, who's just coming into this final section now. Oh, and Blake Hood's off in front of him. Actually, Blake Hood is not going to make the pit lane this time round. Here is Palmer then, and he's gone through. He's gone past Ben Gregory.
That's a long stop for Gregory, 15 seconds. Ben Palmer did a 4.8 second stop.
Yeah, I think Ben might have taken tyres by accident there. You know, it's not a long pit lane, so you can't untick the tyres when you're going down the pit lane. Blake Hood's in there as well, actually. He's up in the air, so he's taking tyres by accident. Blackhall comes in. So yeah, I think Palmer's going to be the leader of this race, you know, unless, well, Blackhall's not taking tyres, so he's away and he's a long way off in the distance now. Shame for that battle to be broken up, really, if I'm honest with you, because that was shaping up to be a real corker. You never know. Ben Gregory is 13 seconds back with less than, well, just over 3 minutes to go, so I don't quite think he's going to take that much time out of Ben Palmer here.
No, I can't see with 3 minutes to go. My timing screen's been telling me it's going to be about 5 more laps left in the event for the drivers currently out on the circuit. And I can't see Ben Gregory pulling back that time. It's quite a long gap, 14 seconds between the two. And if you can do 7 seconds a lap and overtake someone, I'd be impressed. But I can't see that happening, not around here. It's maybe on the long circuit, but not here. Not on this little Patriot layout.
No, definitely not. That's it's just an incomprehensible amount of time to gain per lap. We'll have a look at Ashley Blake Hood. He's not had much airtime so far, despite the fact there's only 5 cars, or well, 4 now. The very bright black and magenta Team Mad Volkswagen Beetle. Fair play to him. He's still giving it everything, even though he's at the back of the field by some margin, as Gregory comes across the line now. Ashley's just about halfway around the lap. Oh, running wide, he's going to get a slowdown for that. He knows, whoa! Up into the air he goes. That was a crazy jump there. Now, I don't know what he hit in the ground, but that just shows you how light that Volkswagen Beetle is, doesn't it? Look at him. He's loving it, isn't he?
I mean, these cars, they're sort of 600 brake horsepower in those engines and probably not weighing much more than a matchstick. It's only really a carbon fibre shell and a roll cage and 4 wheels to it, along with the engine and the gearboxes. There's really not much to these cars, so it's easy to get them airborne, especially at high speeds. I feel like Ash Blakehood is just having a bit of fun now.
Well, yeah.
Sideways is not the quickest way through that corner, let's be honest, but that's what this championship's all about.
Yeah, definitely. And he's loving it. Look at it. You can have right fun in these cars when you chuck them about. And he's having the time of his life there. He's got Ben Palmer coming up behind him now to lap him. Lets him through very kindly. Ben almost gives him a kiss on the way through. Very close to the back of him there. Are we going to see the handbrake make an appearance, Mr. Blakehood? Are we going to see the handbrake? Not quite. He's cocking a wheel, though. There he is. Bit of drift on the exit. Jake Blackhall now will only have another lap or so to go after this one, surely. Got just over a minute left, so probably this one and one more, isn't it?
I'm seeing 21 laps predicted, currently on lap 19, so I believe we're still going to have 2 more laps left in this race. However, I can see it being a 20-lap race indeed, because, of course, we're now into the last minute. It's definitely not going to be a 21-lap race. My timing screens have lied to me, so they will be duly punished afterwards, as in I won't use them again.
Ben Gregory is now about to come up behind his team, well, not his teammate, sorry, his rival Ashley Blakehood, who has just put it in the wall. Ash there, yeah. Let's go back and have a look at that. He'll probably won't mind us having a look at this. Oh, he's just cutting the circuit and launching it about for fun now. And the car just bouncing off the tyres, unfortunately for him. But he keeps his foot in and suddenly it's pointing back the right way. So, well done to Ash. He's off the track again here as we return to him. But like you say, he's just having fun out there, and that's what we hope these guys are doing. Mr. Palmer was telling me tonight that he hates this track and he can't understand why I've picked it out. So that's probably why we've not got many people here tonight. It is the bank holiday weekend, so people are probably hungover or with their families, and you know, we don't do that boring stuff here. Jake Blackhall away. It's going to be the final lap, Jack, and well, not the biggest field we've seen, but what did you make of that then as Jake Blackhall takes the win?
I mean, as you know, Chaz, I've got a couple of years of commentary experience underneath my belt, and seen some pretty exciting races over the years, and some of the battles we've seen here today are up there with some of the battles that we've seen. Jake Blackhall has finished the race by the looks of things, taking the win for the first race here at the Virginia International Raceway, doing a little bit of drifting to celebrate. Ben Palmer bringing her home second.
Mr. Palmer will be probably getting out of that car as quickly as he can. It's a shame about Ben Gregory taking tyres, though. He will rue that decision, or just rue the fact that he didn't untick them, I suppose, beforehand, as Ashley Blakehood then comes around the final corner to complete the race. And he's going to do something. Yep, he misses Ben Gregory there as he tries to take him out, and off he goes into the concrete barriers. And it's literally...
Poor shot there, Ash. Poor shot.
It's impaled in the air. The rear wheels are spinning. And this would be a beautiful backdrop to bring up the race results then. So Jake Blackhall wins the race then. A very basic results screen here for you. But I'm still going to go to the extent of bringing a little bit of music over it, because why wouldn't you? It looks nice and professional. And then Ben Palmer finishing in second place, 15 seconds back from the eventual winner. Ben Gregory in third place, 1 lap down. Ashley Blakehood on the same lap, with Adam McNally, unfortunately, 10 laps down in that one, not finishing the race. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to give it a full reverse grid this time, because as you can imagine, it's probably not worth just doing a draw for 2 or 3 of them. So we'll do a full reverse grid, and we will be back with you in about 10 minutes' time. Do not go away. I hope the song that I want to come on comes on next. These are on shuffle, so let's see. Yeah! Enjoy this one. This is chill as fuck. Let's risk a copyright claim.
Catch me in something. Try to hold close. You should match me in something. You need something just to keep moving.
Race 2 is just going to be underway in a few minutes' time, so just bear with us. We'll get everybody in, and yeah, this massive field of 4 cars, which I believe it may be for this second one, will soon be rattling back round the hills of Virginia International Raceway.
It's like Catch me in something. Try to hold close. It's a bunch of laughs, I know. Excuse these moving on.
Welcome back then, ladies and gentlemen. We are here for the practice session now in the second race of tonight. Looking at Jake Blackhall, race 1 winner, currently out on track. Jack, hoping for more action in this one. Obviously, it's a very limited amount that we can get. We've only got 4 cars this time. It seems like Mr. McNally is not back with us for this one, unfortunately. But it's perfectly understandable. We know that driving around with just 5 cars on track isn't the most exciting thing in the world, is it?
Yeah, you can definitely say that. 5 cars is not the most interesting kind of race in the world, but each to our own. These guys still turning up for the second race. Slightly cooler conditions later on in the day, about 7 o'clock in sim in the evening, so the track temperature is much colder. Expect some much quicker lap times as well. Maybe creeping into the 42s for some of the drivers in this second race. It's going to be interesting. There's a lot more grip out on track. These cars should grip a lot better to that road and really put on some good racing.
As Ashley Blakehood goes backwards over the hill. Not quite sure what happened there. I will have a look, because you've got to... Oh, he's backwards already, and Ben Gregory's pushing him down the back straight. Love it. Lovely teamwork there from the boys. He's still going backwards, is Mr. Blakehood. I think he's doing an entire lap in reverse here, Jack.
Yeah, I think this is probably to make it all more interesting for him. Just waste the next 3-4 minutes of the practice session, drive it backwards. Why not? I don't really blame him. That thing must be flat out in reverse, because reverse gear in these cars aren't exactly the longest of gears. You can only really get up to about 25 miles an hour. So going backwards is not going to be the quickest lap. That is for sure. You've also got to be quite careful, because you can get... Oh, wow. You can get disqualified, but I think Ben Palmer might have just put an end to that one.
You can get collected as well, just as Mr. Blakehood did there. We look at Ben Gregory. We'll go on board with Ben for a second. See how hard he's going in practice. He wants... Oh, well... Cutting quite a lot of the track there. I imagine that'll be a slowdown penalty for Ben. But these boys are really giving it everything. And it's great to see. We are grateful, of course, for them returning for this second race. You could probably think, 4 cars, it's not going to be an interesting night. But at the end of the day, there's championship points on offer, and these boys actually do give a shit about it, believe it or not. Some people, obviously, they know it's for fun, and at the end of the day it is. There's not going to be any trophies or anything given out, I don't think. But I might buy one. You never know. Depends how much money... money the whole Chazlington brand brings in. Send me money, people. It can go to a trophy. But Ben Gregory, just an update, is now leading the championship. Of course, after that one. So I think he's the first driver to break the 100-point barrier, which is good. And I'm sure that he's hoping for a race win in this one. Jake Blackhall, he'll be very happy to have got a win in that last race, though, because he was saying to me before tonight that he needs to get his arse in gear and get a win, especially while the other championship rivals are out of town, so to speak, because he's been waiting for one. I mean, he's put it on pole, I think it's 3 times out of the 4 meetings. Let's have a look. Let's go through. He put it on pole in round 1, then it was John Robertson at Lime Rock, and then, yeah, the other 2 times at Barber and at Virginia, it's been Jake putting it on pole, so a win has really been sort of long overdue, to be honest, Jack.
Yeah, it sounds like it is, but for Ben Gregory as well, obviously leading the championship coming into this second race is a bit of a milestone as well, because it would be the first championship that... Actually, no, that's a lie. I can't say it's the first championship the Fidstar have ever led, because we've led the Club Sport GGFX series, but I have a feeling this is the first championship where we might actually have a shot of genuinely winning something, which is a rarity for us.
That'd be nice to see, though. Interesting fact as well, Ben is... Let's have a look... Well, it's funny actually, because he's leading the championship, and the 3 guys after him have all won races. So he's not won a race yet this season. So he's another one that should need it, really.
He won't win it going backwards or do donuts either.
No, but he's having fun. There's Jake.
Yes. Oh, that was close. Jesus Christ!
And you can just hear the brilliant noise of the Fiesta on the limiter. Blake Hood's going to join in now, surely. There's Ben Palmer.
There we go. World War Ben has resumed.
Yeah.
Normals. Yeah, that's back.
Normality for Mr. Palmer to be in the air on 2 wheels. Let's see what he does here. Oh. He's going to hit the cameraman.
Oh. That's a new way of taking that corner. You know what? Actually, Ben Gregory almost had that one sorted until he hit that concrete wall.
Yeah, the car's standing up incredibly well to that. You can tell I've got damage turned off. 15 seconds left of practice. We hope this is entertaining for you anyway, everyone at home. It certainly is for us. I'm sure these guys are having a right laugh doing it as well. There's Ben. Ow.
What the hell? Come on, Ben, I've got to pay the bill for that thing.
Thankfully, for everyone's mentality, that is the end of practice. So these guys any second now will be lining up on the grid for the second of 2 races tonight. That's a massive hit from Ben there, just watching it back on the preview for the broadcast. Here is your grid then. Oh God, look at it. Blake Hood on pole position then. Ben Gregory is going to be second. You never know, with the other guys having to come through from the back, he could have a chance at winning this one. Then the lights are on, and away they go for the second race tonight. Ben Gregory comes across to try and cut off Ben Palmer. Oh, bit of, we're not going to say the N-word. Oh, and Blake Hood punted through the left-hander as well. Gregory's not having the best time on these first laps, but Blake Hood leads it then. He's got Palmer right behind him. Blackhall gets a send in the background from Gregory. He's having a nightmare hitting people off here. What's going on, Jack? Calm him down.
The handbags have been deployed, I think, from these guys in this first race. Obviously, everyone knowing that as they head into this, as Ben Palmer looks at the outside of Ashley Blake Hood as they head into the spiral section, there's contact, and Ben Palmer's into the lead. However, he's going to do the sensible thing, slow down, let him gain it position back. So that leaves Ben Gregory and Jake Blackhall to get themselves through, and that drops Ben Palmer right to the back of the field.
Well, like you say, last to first in the other race. Oh, Ben's gone straight on. That's going to be a slowdown, surely. It is, and he's serving it as quick as he can. Blackhall goes through. He's in the lead again. How has he done that? It was a real shame, actually, to see Ashley Blake Hood spin off because of the contact with Palmer, because it was a brilliant shot of them coming over the hill. Blake Hood, I keep saying Blake Hall. I do apologise, boys. Blake Hood was on 2 wheels and leaning on the door of Ben Palmer as they came over the hill. It was great to watch, but then it's a real shame it ended like that. Nice to see Ben let him have the place back. He's not going to do the same this time, though. Nice clean move down the inside, and away he goes. And I tell you what, Jack, this small field of cars might actually give Jake Blackhall here the opportunity to do what only Josh Thompson has done in his debut race, I might add, in this championship, and that is win both races in one night.
Well, at the moment, he's looking quite good for that to happen. He's pulled about a second and a half on Ben Gregory this lap. And Ben Gregory is going to be occupied over the course of the race because World War Ben has resumed as they head themselves on to lap number 3. The fastest lap of the race has gone to Ben Palmer. So Ben Palmer clearly looking quick as they head themselves into this stage of the race. Everyone's starting to get settled down, that the handbags have been put away, and I think it's just time for everyone to settle in and get themselves to the end of this one.
Yeah, we're just looking back now from the gearbox of Ben Gregory at Ben Palmer, and, well, Ben's gone through. You can see Ashley Blake Hood completely sideways on the dirt behind us, and Palmer has made it stick. I think Gregory just ran a little bit wide going into there, just trying to be a little bit later on the brakes, try and maybe just catch Jake, really. That might have been his priority there, but we know that Ben, especially you know this as well as his team manager, of course, Jack, Ben's really good at chasing and putting the pressure on, isn't he?
Yeah, he's also quite good at talking, but we won't go there. But yes, Ben is very good at chasing, very good at if there's a task that he needs to do, he will put his mind to it. As once again cutting inside of the curb, and I think that is another slowdown. Not too sure. The gap's still looking at about half a second between the two. So Ben Palmer has got through in second position, but hasn't pulled away from the Texsense Fitstyle Motorsport machine in third of Ben Gregory. However, Ashley Blake Hood, it's fair to say he's been left for dead in that Volkswagen Beetle.
Yeah, just getting reports a moment ago from Clyde in the comments that the stream, in his words, shat itself. So I do apologise if that is the case, everyone. Hopefully it's all right now. Looks okay on the preview that I'm getting, so we're getting a better frame rate. As this is a great shot though of Gregory chasing down Palmer from the nose cam. I think some of these shots may be a little bit blurry. Hopefully everything's okay. I'm not sure whether you can just pop on your phone or something, Jack, and let me know how she looks. But
everything looks good.
Here is Gregory then, and he's falling away from Palmer here, but Blake Hood's still out there having a laugh as well. We'll have a chat with Ash at the end of this one because he's always a good laugh to speak to. He's here for the lols, but also for the points, because of course finishing where he finished in race 1 in fourth place, he still gets 16 points. So and into the tyre wall he goes. Oh, he's lodged it. He's properly lodged it in the wall.
Well, it's fair to say, even if he spends the next 10 minutes sat in that wall, he's still going to score 16 points. So actually, I think he might have it moving. He does indeed.
Never
He's
seen
popped
that.
out of the tyre wall. However, is he going to call it a day? He's coming to the pit, so he might be doing his pit stop now instead of later on in the race. No, his steering is slightly off to the left. I have a feeling that might be a bit broken as Ben Gregory is off the track, losing more time to Ben Palmer. The gap's now over a second, and he's using more of the track than he probably should be. And I think for Gregory, he might have just thrown his chances away of getting that second place on the podium.
Well, the leaders are coming through now past Blake Hood. He's back out. The damage is definitely off on these things. So
Gregory's into the pits. So Gregory's making his pit stop early. Let's see if he's unchecked his tyres.
I'm not sure whether the fuel will get them to the end. It's a long stop either way. He's building the revs up, so he's ready to go.
That wasn't a tyre change. I have a feeling that might have been a full tank of fuel for Ben Gregory. So 20-second stop compared to 6.3 for Ash Blake Hood. I'm not quite sure what was going on there.
Oh, Gregory's off.
For Ben, as he's gone off. Having more troubles. Another slowdown. Back onto the racing surface he will go, but he is almost a lap down now on Jake Blackall.
Palmer there, a bit of a tough lap as well, 45.6. That time round as Blackall, 43.0. Sorry, 43.6. 2 seconds quicker. There he is flying by. The pace of these Fiestas is absolutely awesome. To be fair, the pace of all these rallycross cars is pretty mega, isn't it, Jack? Some of the speeds they get to can be quite frightening.
It's more the acceleration of the things. They're so fast off the mark. You just build up the revs, you stick it to about 6,000 revs and drop the clutch and the handbrake, and they'll be at 100 mile an hour before you can say supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Yes, I got it right. And I think that's part of the thing as well. Obviously, four-wheel drive on these cars.
Yeah.
So the traction's going down through all four wheels. Wheel spin isn't really a thing in rallycross. However, being sick and re-seeing your lunch from the acceleration, that is.
And chucking it sideways into the same tyre wall that you have done the previous laps before is also something to behold here from Ashley Blake Hood. He's having a right laugh out there. I think he's debating whether to bring it in or not. He's going. He's giving it everything. Oh, is he? He's on half throttle. I'm not sure what he's doing. I think he's just having a laugh right now. He's probably debating championship points over going and having a beer, because I think he'd rather be just chilling and having a beer right now. He's got Ben Gregory behind him. Maybe he's waiting for Ben just so they could have a bit of a scrap or a drift together, because he's... Oh, well.
No, he's just let him pass. He has stopped now. He's got going again. I'm not really sure. Ben Palmer's into the pit, so Palmer deciding that he's going to take his pit stop with 8 minutes to go in the race. And he's back out and away, a 5.1 second stop for Mr. Palmer, so everything looking good for him. It's 15 seconds quicker than Ben Gregory, so he's going to be about 15 seconds to the good over Gregory, which means he has pretty much cemented himself in second position. Jake Blackall again has run away with it, 9 seconds between himself and the driver of Ben Palmer.
Yeah, spreading out a little bit now, unfortunately, for us, but either way, great driving tonight by Jake Blackall.
What the hell has Blake Hood just done?
Well, the rear wheels are off the ground. He's trying to wiggle it around.
That's, I think, implant.
It says that he's entered the pit lane, so we'll have a look. We'll go on board with Mr. Blake Hood. Oh, well, we've just missed it. Here he is then. Caning it up to the last few corners. He lifts off as if he's going to actually do it, and then he realises he's running wide. Puts his foot in the air. Yeah, he aims for it. And he does a good job of hitting it as well, to be fair.
He can't get it out either, partly because the rear wheels are off the ground and the front wheels aren't getting any traction lodged in a tyre wall. It's not really working right now. Jake Blackall has now decided that now is the time for him to come into pit lane to make his pit stop. Oh. So 6 minutes and 40 seconds to go.
I think he overshot something there because he reversed and then went forward again. He probably had a good giggle at Ashley Blake Hood as he came in. Mr. Palmer takes the lead of the race. And as Christian Rose would say, yikes. Ben Palmer now leading because Jake overshot his pit. So here's the battle. They may be different liveries. These are both CQR club cars. There's no real sort of teams championship at the moment. There is sort of superficial results anyway. But obviously with the teams having different amounts of drivers, we're still to figure that out and Get the reported odds. Oh, Jake's so close to the back of Ben. You can see Ben was on the throttle early there and sliding sideways. This is incredible battling from these pair. And there's still 5 minutes to go. Look how much quicker Jake can be through there. He's got it properly sorted out. Can Ben hold on here and have a good scrap to take this race win? Blake Hood back in the pits now. He's jumped to his pit box, fortunately for him. The car might be what they call towing. If you're not familiar with iRacing, I don't know why you wouldn't be if you're watching this stream. The cars can, in inverted commas, tow back to the pit lane, can't they, Jack, to sort of simulate being taken back there, and it's usually a couple of minutes.
Yeah, it is. Jake Blackall looks to the inside. There's contact between the two. Well held by Palmer, but he's going to head off the circuit. Will Blackall give him back the position? I'm not sure he will. I think he will actually, so...
Yeah, he does.
Do it sportsmanlike. He does. Good job from Jake Blackall there, I say. So the battle's back on for the lead, but for a fraction of a second, looked like it was all over for Ben Palmer. But yeah, obviously the towing feature in iRacing, you can bring yourself back to the pit lane if you get damage, especially on the long circuits, the Le Mans and Nordschleife. It's a long way around with a car with 70 degrees left on the old steering column. So the tow feature very helpful, much like if you were to tow in or get a tow back to the pit lane in real life. And some leagues, some series as well, actually employing a policy where if a car requests a tow, they stick out a safety car as they would in the real world, and that can add another dimension into the race strategy. But of course, safety car's not needed in a race with 4 cars unless Blake Hood decides that he wants to block a track somewhere.
Yeah, of course, and we do have the power to throw safety cars. Well, yeah, but not sure that would go down well with these boys. They're having a great scrap now, just on board with Jake Blackall here, and you can see how much input they're actually putting into this car to make it around the almost identical lap times that time round. But that just shows how quick Jake is, because he made a big mistake coming into here last time round. Actually, Blake Hood is apparently on pit exit. He's back out on track. The boy is back out, and he's...
I think he was listening to me.
Yeah, he's blocking the track, trying to cause a safety car.
I mean, it's probably a bit too late for a competition caution.
Well,
this is Blackall looking to the inside, they make contact again.
That's why these
Ben
rallycross
Palmer.
cars are good, because look how sideways that was, and he still saved it. Is he still trying to get through? Ben says, no, not on your life, sunshine. Have some of that. Now, we're going to go on board here and just see what they see when they come across Ashley Blake. And there he is at the side of the road, hiding out of the way. I wonder if he's going to do the same for Ben Gregory. We'll go on board with Ben. Is Ash going to be in the middle of the road now? No, he's dived out of the way. So he's he's realised that I'm not going to throw a safety car for that. But this battle, Jack, still going on. Jake Blackall's still not found a way past Ben Palmer.
He hasn't, and as they head themselves into the spiral, we're going to get 4 more laps after this one. Very different lines taken by the two. Jake Blackall going for a much tighter line, setting him up to the inside on the exit of the corner. They contact again.
Deja vu.
Blackall pushes him back into position, but Ben Palmer always getting the fisticuffs out and saying, not today, Sonny. Getting himself back into the lead. This is a really good scrap between these two. I thought World War Ben was good, but World War CQR is even better. Hang on, that definitely isn't a good thing.
Yeah, we can't let that catch on. Flipping heck. Can't tell the boys back at home about that one. But anyway, Ben whacks the handbrake on, gets it turned, so does Jake. Almost in sync there, that was fantastic. But yeah, we had a bit of deja vu then. Ben was just like, you are not coming through. Straightens it up and just nudges him out of the way again. Jake very late on the brakes there, but you can just see how much quicker Jake is. He's so comfortable in these cars. A very talented driver, of course. He's in the V8 Scop series as well, as far as I know. As all Aussies are. They're just naturally good at driving them cars, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, the V8 Super... I mean, you speak to most Aussies, the V8 Supercar is sort of like the favourite car. It's the stablemate of Australian sim racing, and there are some Aussies who detest the thing, and to be fair, I don't blame them. I can't stand it. It's just what I feel is a big 800. Oh, Blackall. He's done it. Into turn number 3. He's got the lead with 3 laps to go. A very ballsy move and a bit late on the brakes, I'd say, but Ben Palmer's not going to be happy. He's going to want this back as they head themselves down into the spiral. He's going to look to the inside. Down the inside they go. They make contact. But Ben Palmer is off into the grass. I think he's got lost. He might end up on the Grand Prix circuit before long.
Ben send Palmer doing what he does best
Gregory's
there.
got into second.
Palmer's not going to live happy with that. Here he is coming through on the grass. Is that gaining an advantage? I think so. I don't know if he'll have a slowdown or what. Look at the overlap there. They're so close together. Not sure whether I can let that stand, if I'm honest with you, Jack, but we'll have to have a chat with the boys afterwards. What great racing that was. We'll have a look back at the manoeuvre where Jake did pass Ben.
Ooh.
Almost a bit of bumping and banging there. We're just looking back at a replay, so keep your eye on that for me. Here is Jake's move. Down the inside into the left-hander. Very late. Ben gives him the room. There's a little bit of contact, but awesome stuff. And then, of course, there's the accident at the end of the straight. We'll go on board with Ben. Chasing him down. Late on the brakes. Turns in. Yeah, he just runs wide, and contact was inevitable, unfortunately.
Yeah, that does not surprise me. These guys are crossing the line. They've got one more lap to go. This is the final lap of the second race here today. You can tell that Ben Gregory's worked up and he wants this position. He's looking for every possible gap to try and get it done. Blake Hood is back out on track.
Oh!
Yeah, well, he's not on track. They make contact. And Ben waiting for Palmer, so clearly not wanting this battle to be over. Oh, Palmer's just giving him a bit of a nudge.
Ben just shoving him out of the way. He's saying,
Yeah.
come on, son, let's go. The battle resumes. Jake Blackhall wins the race almost. He's going to anyway. He's done it. It's 2 out of 2 for Jake Blackhall.
Palmer's off the track.
Oh, he's just flying past the camera. He's completely sideways. I don't know what's going on here. He's going to have a slowdown for that, and I don't know whether he can finish the race with one. So is Gregory going to get the move done?
He gets a time. Oh, my word. That's one way to take a slowdown penalty for Ben.
Hopefully. He's in the
going to
pits.
get backwards into the pit.
Fair play, Mr. Palmer. That was very well done. Ben Gregory apparently finishes third. What a race. That was just, well, chaos in all regards. There's accidents and cars spinning, and that's what we love. It's what we love. And that's the whole point of this championship. We're here for fun. Hopefully we do portray that and everyone enjoys it. But what a finish that was by Ben Palmer. Completely sideways into the pit lane. And we're still waiting for Ashley Blake Hood to finish the race, actually, because the result screen won't come up without him finishing. So all he's doing right now is delaying this. I'm going to do the typical result screen music that I do, which is called First Sight by Ixon. And there we go. Mr. Blake Hood out of the car. And for the second time tonight, well, as it stands at the moment, Ben Gregory is actually second place. So I was going to say identical results, but no. Jake Blackhall takes 2 for 2 tonight. Very well deserved as well. So pole position, fastest lap in both races, and 2 race wins. What more could you ask for? Ben Gregory second place. Great battle with Ben Palmer at the end there. I think Ben was just more in for the fun of it at the end of that. And well, what else can be said about Ashley Blake Hood? He still finished the race though, so it's not going to go down as a DNF. He's still going to get the 16 points he would get for finishing in 4th position, and that will put him on 32 points for the evening. What we're going to do at this point is let me just have a quick check in the good ode. Tell you what, we'll bring the pair of them in. Ben, Ash, that was well, that was a right barrel laughs to watch. How did you find that one?
That was bloody hilarious.
It looked like good fun out there. Good battling all the same as well from a lot of you. Mr. Blake Hood, not obviously any race wins or podiums, but you look like you're enjoying yourself, mate.
I would like to complain about the disparity between the Ford and the Beetle, and I demand a stewards' inquiry at once.
Well, what about the pit wall? We're just watching the moment where you got lodged into it for about 20 minutes.
I don't believe the Ford would get lodged into the pit wall in the same way, and I would like to raise a stewards' inquiry about that too.
I think Ashley Blake Hood has been taken over by Matt Neal or someone from Team Dynamics.
No, I'm not Matt Neal. I was over there punching you.
With a helmet on.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Ben, well, you got second place in that one because of Ben Palmer's penalties at the end, but you had a right good scrap. Yeah, you got a penalty, so you got second place.
Okay.
It looked like good fun battling all the way through in that, though. You had a front row seat for a lot of it as well, and obviously, yeah.
It was so good. They were scrapping on the last race. I was like, yes, keep fighting. I want to fight too. And then Ben fell off the track and then started being exactly like me and seeing the track limits more like guide lanes. It's great.
Well, we've got another one next week at Snetterton in the 100 layout.
Oh, Jesus.
Very short track, of course, that we've got. But yeah, that should be a fun one as well. Small pit lane. Do you reckon you boys will get on all right there?
I'm literally just going to drift it.
What about you, Ash? You reckon you'll do the same?
I reckon it'll be about the same as this week. As long as there's a pit wall there, I'll hit it.
Well, we'll take that,
It's in
mate.
front of me. Let's go.
We'll take that, mate. Well, thanks very much for hopping in, boys. Really appreciate the participation, despite the small grid size tonight. You are the sort of people that make this series, and it is much appreciated. So, hopefully, we will see you next time round, lads. Have a good one.
You will. Cheers.
See you next week.
Awesome to speak to those boys there. Much appreciated, like I say. What we're going to do is drag in our double race winner for the evening, Jake Blackhall. Jake, you said you wanted to do it, mate, and get a win. 2 of them, that'll do, won't it?
Yeah, that'll do. Unfortunately, with a smaller grid, but the pace was there, especially like you got Palmer and Gregory, who have been pretty quick pretty much all season. So being able to put it half a second quicker on pole and then just try and lead from the races. First race didn't go to plan, had to work way back there, and neither did race 2. The pits are not my thing, and I'm going to try and stay away from them. But when I've got a pit, it just keeps ruining me some.
Yeah, well, unlike Mr. Ashley Blake Hood, who, of course, couldn't get out of the pits, he was absolutely loving it in there. Did you have a bit of a giggle when you came across him being lodged in the pit wall?
Well, I see his car in the pit wall, and I'm like, what's this? And then I try and get in my pit box, and said I was too far to the right, so I was obviously trying to avoid hitting Ashley Blakewood and move myself over too far. So I had to reverse and then move myself closer to the wall because it wanted me right up against it to do the pit stop. So it cost me some time, but it was an awesome battle with Ben at the end. Yeah,
Ben had a fantastic race, to be fair. Him and Gregory had a good couple of comings together after that as well when he fell off the track, but it's great to watch. We're at Snetterton at the 100 layout next week, which is a very, very small track like this one, but probably not as challenging because it's flat. So do you reckon you'll do all right there if you're on pace?
I think I should do all right there. Snetterton 100, I've done a couple of laps ironically around there in other cars, aka a supercar. So
fair enough.
A bit different in that world, but obviously it'll still be pretty good knowledge that I've got from that to translate over to this car, because there's not a lot of throttle that you can use in these cars. So you're not using 100% throttle unless you're pretty much straight, wide open. So I think that'll translate well from the supercar to the Fiesta.
Good stuff, mate. Well done on your wins tonight. You're only the second person to get 2 wins in one night after Josh Thompson, who did it on his debut last week. So very well done, mate. And hopefully we'll speak to you next week then.
Thank you. Yep, definitely be around next week and hopefully catch up then.
Cheers, buddy. Nice one.
Cheers. Thank you.
Well, that will be the end of the evening then from myself and Mr. Styles. Jack, he did message me a minute ago saying he might have to jump off, but if he's still there, are you around, Jack? Are you there? No, he's got a little microphone muted symbol on Discord. So that'll be all from me for tonight. I really, really do appreciate you guys sticking around and watching this. I understand that it's not the most exciting racing in the world when there's 5 or even 4 cars on track, but hopefully when we return to Snetterton next week, we will see more exciting racing like we saw in the first 3 meetings. And of course, don't forget to check them out as well, also on my YouTube channel. You can go back and watch either one of those broadcasts, and we'll be around next time round. From the Chazlington Touring Car Championship, from me, from Jack Styles, thank you very much everybody, and have a great night.